Hello everybody, it is Sunday, September 29th, 2019. It's 9:54 a.m. here in Arizona. This is not financial advice. This is strictly entertainment purposes only. Disclaimer in the video description. Okay, I'm going to go through this a little bit quicker than I usually do. And because it's Sunday and such, and here's my take on what Bitcoin is doing, what's going on. Of course, as always, not financial advice, just my opinion. If we look at the weekly, the MACD is still, well, trending down pretty steeply. And we have gone, of course, beneath the dotted purple line, which is the 21 weekly EMA. And we are also, but we are also still above the 200 weekly moving average. That's the white line. And the super guppy indicator is still green. So, definitely taking a dump, but as we can see, we take dumps like over here. You can see that happens. Looking at the daily, here's where I am bullish, okay? And like I say, not financial advice, this is just my take on it. But if we look at the the daily here. On the daily, we are above the 21 weekly average, weekly EMA, I would say. Right here with the dotted purple line, and we have gone below the 200 daily moving average, but we're not crashing through it. Ever since we got under it, we've been working on, we've been wicking at it and trying to get above it. Here's what I'm seeing that gives me a little bit of hope. Look at our RSI. It is low. I mean, that RSI is pretty darn low. It's been that low before, but usually didn't stay there very long in recent history. Alright, so RSI is pretty darn low. I mean, once you're oversold, you know? And the MACD on the daily, if we look, we are starting to turn around. The histogram is not simply red, now it's got some pink to it, and it's starting to close. So the histogram is starting to close on the daily, even though the MACD, the blue line, is not crossing positive above the signal yet. It looks like we're probably headed that way. So you got a really low RSI. You've got a MACD, which is beginning to turn positive, and then also, this is an indicator by Lazy Bear, wave trend indicator. It's right here, indicator, wave trend, oscillator, and this is kind of like an enhanced MACD. And when I look at this, basically this green line here, hopefully you can see that. The green line here, like, we are below, oversold, the green line, and we are just the wave trend oscillator. The green line is about to cross positive over the signal, the dotted red line, and this is kind of an enhanced MACD. So on these big time frames, like the daily, even the weekly is not showing positive yet. The daily usually leads the weekly, and so boom. In my opinion, we are turning positive. We've gotten this dump out of our system. So, with that said, once again, looking at the daily, we are working on getting above that 200 moving average again, and this oscillator down here, this indicator, is actually the fear and greed index. You can find this on TradingView, and the green color here is, I can actually show you, it's kind of fun. Green is extreme fear, but not very extreme fear. So people are fearful, and you know that old saying, when people are fearful, when there's blood in the streets, that's when you make your money. So we are getting a slight uptick, but people are still fearful on the fear and greed index. Take that for what it's worth. If you look at it historically, it does tend to match market sentiment if you're looking at the price for an indicator of market sentiment. So, on the 4-hour, looking at a volume indicator over here on the right, we definitely have had a lot more volume above us than we do where we're at. And so we have broken below a wedge, broken, that I see this little wedge pattern we've been creating here on the 4-hour. We've broken below it, but we have a green candle going on recently, and we're working on getting back in that and above it. So I personally believe we've got more volume on top than we do underneath to head to. On the 2-hour, well, we're still below the 200 moving average, and the MACD is pretty much, well, not positive. But we'll see. It's struggling. If we can get that daily to keep turning up, we'll get this 2-hour to turn up also. I'd really like to see a 2-hour turn up and start moving towards this 200 moving average again. On the hourly, as you can see, had a little wedge pattern drawn here, and we are, below that. Hopefully we can get above that. Now, as far as big news, I'll link to this in the show notes. This guy, he has, unusual opinions. He's right sometimes, he's wrong sometimes, but he's usually interesting, even if oftentimes a little more dire than is necessary. But Mr. Kristoff is great. So, he makes a case for, is there a battle between the banker whales and the crypto whales? Is there actually a whale war going on? It's an interesting idea to ponder if you so desire. So in summary, basically, I'm looking at the daily, I'm seeing the histogram start to turn positive, and I think we're going to get above this 200 moving average on the daily, and I think we're going to see an uptrend again. So I'm bullish. I think we've gotten the dump out of our system, and we can get on with our lives. The shorters have made their money, but I think it's time for them to stop shorting, and the longs to, roll supreme again towards a better world and future for us all. So, like, share, and subscribe. I'll do this again tomorrow. Have a great Sunday, and hopefully next week will be great too. I'll see you every damn day. Let's make it happen.